put your name up. Try to hold me down, but you know me now. Look at God, I done came up.
So on the floor for Golden State, they've got Anthony Black, Brandon Pajemski out there with MP, then it's Chet Holmgren, and it's Robinson in at the 5, down low. A moment to hear from Allie LaForce.
Thanks, guys. Well, MP in their last time out against Miami got the job done. He ended up with a jaw-dropping amount of points, and that's not to mention the fact that by the end of the night, he had a triple-double. His numbers from that game jumped off the stat sheet. He was just superb. Guys, let's see if he can do it again.
That's good stuff, Allie. It really was some night for him. He couldn't have been much better, Grant.
Yeah, B.A., there was nothing they could do to contain him. Once he got rolling, it was game on.
Well, he did whatever he wanted. I love the fact that he was under.
Oh, how about that?
Oh, out of my way.
Okay, young man. We see you, MP. We know you for real.
Thanks to the AT&T Connected Cam for the up-close and personal view of that slam. Here's Collier. 23 points his last outing. The quick look, no good that time.
The other team just looks more in sync and is riding the momentum.
Yeah, it's just time to settle everything down. Get high percentage looks and then D up.
Another triple for him. His 4th of the night after that monster first quarter where he hit 3 of them.
Pajemski's gotten everything to go. 5 attempts, 5 makes. Pass to Bowen. Here's Bailey. 6 on the shot clock. Bowen. For 3, Collier. The rebound by Alston. Alston's got rebound number 11. Another bucket! Wow! And that gives him 51.
Making it look easy.
Trying to find a spark here.
Yes, indeed. A rough stretch offensively. They could really use a basket.
And it just feels like his poor shooting has been contagious to his entire team as they find themselves trailing.
They've been very well-rounded and extremely focused.
And because of that, this one looks like a bit of a mismatch.
Here's Collier. Utah with another miss.
He's lost his rhythm completely this quarter, but he's determined to stay after it.
Oh, and he got fouled on his way up. He'll head to the line to shoot 2.
This is part of his development. MP will learn how to draw fouls and go get those freebies at the line.
And a closer look here at the scoring breakdown for the Warriors.
They've been really going at the defense in the painted area, and so far, the opposition really hasn't had an answer for them.
And they're also focusing on their break, looking for any chance they can to push the pace and get out in transition.
Aaron Gordon's checked in for the Warriors. Michael Porter comes in for Pajemski.
And for a young player like MP, it's all about establishing good habits. Get yourself into a routine.
My team, we giving it. Mercy and grace, we living it. All surely forgiving it. All court, they was giving it. I got a dream, people on the shore. Jesus more than evil. Now that they keep evil, I walk through seeing the earth refill. So I got a dream, he can show. And when he do show where to go, I'm getting the
They've been struggling here on offense.
Yeah, a bit of a dry spell for sure.
We've got Bailey. Bowen is out there with Isaiah Hartenstein. And Hendricks in at the power forward. That's the 5 on the floor for the Jazz. George, you were a great...
I don't want to blow my whole life on a gold mine when I do my soul die. Do it for the ones in gutter. This about guns and butter. It's a whole lot of haters, but this for the ones that love us. Never gonna shut up, whether or not the numbers ever do run up. I'm a rep mine for the next 9 summers. Protect mine when the tech 9
On the floor for the Warriors. They've got MP. Aaron Gordon is out there with Michael Porter. And it's Coles in at the 2. Here's Bailey. No made baskets yet. 6 to shoot. Here's Hendricks.
year, Coach, more eyes are drawn to games around the NBA.
Yeah, Kevin, I talked to fans in the East who stay up late to watch Pacific Division matchups. The interest always builds as that postseason picture starts to come into focus.
They've got Bowen. Isaiah Hartenstein is out there with Bailey. And it's Hendricks in at the 4. That's the group right now for Utah. And the Warriors with possession here, following the bucket by the Jazz. Nailed from three-point land.
And those aren't the type of three-point opportunities that you can allow in the NBA.
They've been looking out of sync offensively.
Yeah, their offense has ground to a standstill.
Now, let's take a minute to talk to Allie Laporte, courtside. Allie.
Well, MP in the last matchup against Miami got the job done. He dropped an amazing number of points and put up double digits in 3 categories. Truly, one of the most exceptional performances we've seen in recent memory. A monster night for him. Back to you.
Thanks as always, Allie, for that great report. Greg, it was obvious he was having a lot of fun out there. Tremendous victory.
I'll tell you, he may have been enjoying himself, but whoever was matched up against him certainly wasn't.
Yeah, well, winning is usually fun, especially when you have it going like he did.
So it's the Jazz now after the Warriors pick up 3. Pass to Bowen. A 3 ball.
I quit hiding, cried to Christ, and now it's light inside my soul. I'll never go back. God over money, you already know that. This could have gone bad. This gone oh so bad. But I called on dad. Unfortunate, my life restored to the unfortunate. What more is this that? I've been up, I've been down, I've been broken.
On the floor for the Warriors, we've got Michael Porter. Aaron Gordon is out there with MP. And it's Coles in a shooting guard. Hard legs for teams gearing up for a playoff push. This is the time of year when you want to be clicking on all cylinders.
And you notice that difference in intensity immediately after the All-Star break because teams are starting to ramp it up, getting ready for the playoffs.
Players seem to know when they've got the kind of team that can make a deep run.
Oh, everybody in that locker room consensus.
And let's swing it over to the sideline and hear from Allie.
Well, MP in the last matchup against the Heat had a huge game. He dropped an amazing number of points, and he registered a triple-double, showing off all of his skills. He was a force of nature in that game. He made the opposition look utterly helpless.
Yeah, spot on, Allie. It'll be interesting to see if he can heat up once again tonight, Grant.
Yeah, you know he wants to do exactly this, BA. Just needs to continue to play with the same fire and energy.
Well, I expect they'll go to him early here, hoping for a repeat performance.
Now here's MP. Non-stop scoring machine right here.
He has yet to miss a single shot. What a night he's having.
Looking to get it going.
Setting the floor for the Warriors. We've got Aaron Gordon, MP out there at Porter. And it's Coles in at the 2 guard. Pass to Bailey. Fires from deep. Hendricks can't get it to go.
He's so frustrated. He hasn't had a make all game. It's making it very difficult for them to find any success.
Drills the 3-pointer.
Got to contest MP from out there. He is more than capable from 3.
There's 53 seconds left to play here in the half.
They need a bucket in a big way here to regain some confidence.
The Jazz again can't hit it.
Boy, felt like he let that possession get personal. Trying to answer back with a 3 of his own there.
getting it done on both ends, and it shows up in the score.
Well, what I love is the energy they're bringing right now. They're ignoring the scoreboard and playing hard. This guy is completely out of rhythm this quarter. He just can't get going.
Shot to game clock separated by 5. Here's Savage, and another 3 for Golden State.
This guy has absolutely owned this quarter. This is how you lead by example.
Pass to Bailey. Here's Bowen, trying to get something going. Offensive rebound. He got it up. Oh, and the buzzer beater's good.
And give him credit. Good awareness of the time remaining.
And to me, the way you end quarters impacts how you end the game. It can go a long way between a W or an L.
And so it's the Golden State Warriors able to put on a show for the ages. The scoring has been tremendous, and they are shooting lights out with very high accuracy. We'll return shortly.
Well, looking at the Warriors, they're holding on to that top spot, man. They're consistent and could easily win it all.
And now, how about those first 2 quarters of play? Just a dominating performance for the Warriors.
I think their bench was the biggest difference. These guys came aggressive on the offensive end, not afraid to put the stamp on this game.
Yeah, some confident personalities up and down that roster. And that'll do it for halftime. We send you back to Kevin Harlan, who has the second half call.
They say the God's good and my reply is I know. So when that same guy say to go, I go. I go.
Well, we've got a second half of basketball for you. We think it's going to be pretty good. A big comeback, though, is needed for this game to be competitive, and it probably has to happen quickly. MP really making a difference here.
Man, how about the amount he's contributing in the scoring column? Through 2 quarters, he has been terrific.
And one would expect that the defense made some adjustments at halftime, but he has the ability to answer right back.
Collier out there with Bowen. Then there's one.
Satan got some riders, but it's cool to be capping. I flew through like and we after them. I'm Christ gang, calls on me. You knew we had to win. Satan steady hating, but the joke's on you. I'll be laughing to eternity. Ha 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 ha, choke. I pray God bless you. Like the legend of the Phoenix. But I'm riding with the one that's undefeated. God over money, boy, you know how I roll. Ask me how I did it, I say with my eyes closed. They say the God's good and my reply is I know. So when that same guy say to go, I go.
We've got Bailey. Collier is out there with Walker Kessler. And it's Bowen in at the 2-guard spot. That's the 5 on the floor for the Jazz.
And the defense is really allowing them too much room on the perimeter.
Let's go now to the sideline and catch up with Allie LaForce.
Well, MP in the last matchup against the Heat had a huge game. He ended up with a jaw-dropping amount of points, and he did everything else he could have wanted as well, ending with a triple-double. And he was huge for them in that one. Talking to his coaches pregame, they hope he can repeat that performance with another one.
I gotta brag on my father, my dad. Gave him the wheel and I hopped in the bag. I know he got me, so I gotta ask him, what can I do for you, not can I have? I went astray, went out of my way to cop me them J's and pop me a tag. I wasn't coming for loot, but as soon as I stopped chasing money, he dropped me the bag.
Allow me to reintroduce myself. My name is H to the OP. I used to. I guess even back then you can call me CEO on the ROCO. Fresh out the frying pan into the fire. I'll be the music biz #1 supplier. Fly it in the piece of paper, fan my name. Got the hottest chick in my chick.
We've got Bailey. Collier out there with Bowen. Then there's Walker Kessler. And Hendricks in at the 4. That's the 5 on the floor for the Jazz. RJ, one defensive stat that teams are tracking these days, deflection. Why do you think that's so important to him?
Well, it's a measure of your activity and disruption. Even if you don't get the steal, messing up the flow of the team's offense can be so impactful.
And now, let's send it over to our courtside reporter, Allie LaForce.
Well, MP in the last matchup against Miami got the job done. He ended up with a jaw-dropping amount of points, and that's not to mention the fact that by the end of the night, he had a triple-double. It was a performance that will stick with the fans for a long time. Let's see what he has in store for us in this one.
Great stuff as always, Allie. Thank you. You're right. He was a one-man wrecking crew in that one.
Yeah, he was not going to let them lose it.
Utah has gone 1 of 2 shooting from the perimeter since halftime. They've got Collier, Walker Kessler out there with Bailey, and it's Hendricks in at the 4. That's the 5 on the...
And if you're just joining us, we played over a minute here in the third. They've got Bowen. Also Collier out there. Bailey out there with Walker Kessler. And Hendricks in at the 4-man position. That's the 5 on the floor for the Jazz. And teams are always looking for positional time. Doris, where is that most valuable?
If you look across the league today, Kevin, it's at every single position. And size and skill as a combination is very tough to beat. And teams are getting bigger and more skilled across positions now.
And let's go to the sideline. Here's Allen.
Well, MP in the last matchup against the Heat got the job done. He had an unbelievable amount of points, and he really stuffed that stat sheet for them, ending up with a triple-double. A reminder of the amazing things that he's capable of on any given night. It'll be hard to match that tonight, but he'll...
I don't need the world to... What you looking for? We got what you looking for. What you looking for? We got what you looking for. What you looking for? We got what you looking for. What you looking for? What are you looking for? Tell me, what is it that you see?
The Jazz have gotten 3 of 4 shots to fall so far in the third. They've got Collier, Bailey out there with Walker Kessler, and it's Bowen in at the shooting guard position. That's the 5 on the floor for the Jazz. And again, it's Utah with a 3.
On fire to start the second half. 4-5 from the field.
Time now to hear from our reporter, Allie LaForce.
Thanks, guys. Well, MP in their last time out against the Heat had a huge game. He had an unbelievable amount of points and put up double digits in 3 categories. And with the flashy numbers he put up in that one, it's worth the price of admission just to see how he follows it up. Guys?
Oh, great stuff, Allie. It was obvious he could do anything he wanted. A fantastic win.
Well, I'll tell you, he was enjoying himself out there, kind of like us here in the broadcast booth. And whoever was matched up against him wasn't enjoying themselves.
Yeah, well, winning is usually fun, especially when you have it going like he did. His scoring is a big reason why they're up right now. Let's see if they can close it out.
Here's Kessler, pass to Bowen. Back to Kessler. For 3, Collier. The Warriors pull it in.
And they're up considerably because of their efforts on the glass.
Outside for Porter. To the wing on the left. Here's Holmgren. And again, another assist.
25 assists. What an unselfish performance.
Looking like Scott Skiles right now with all these dimes. Here's Bowen. He's guarded by Porter. Pass to Collier. Kessler, a screen on MP. Just 5 to shoot.
In the third quarter, with just over 3.5 minutes off the clock. So you think about game preparation for an opponent. Richard, how different is that in the regular season versus the playoffs?
Checking into the ball, there's a significant difference. Not as much time in the regular season. You could be coming off 4 games in 5 nights. But in the playoffs, there is so much detail position by position.
Jarris Walker, he's checked in for Golden State. So for the Golden State Warriors right now, Pajemski out there with Holmgren. Then it's MP. Then it's Michael Porter. And it's Walker in at the 5 down low. It's time to send it over now to our reporter, Allie LaForte.
Fill my cup of blessings. The problems that I got in life are what's stressing. With these lips, I'll keep it fasting. Cause if I got grace, then I got everything. Food in my shit, so green,
We've gone about 3.5 minutes here into the third. And great passing so often, the thing that separates the good from the great. Who, for your money, Tim, is the best in the association?
Well, what's crazy, B.A., is I think the top of the list belongs to a center. Trey, Nikola Jokic, to me, an all-time talent, still in his prime, and his playmaking ability, unquestionably, the best we have ever seen at the center position.
Never seen any player like him. He's amazing.
Maybe never will, either.
On the floor for the Warriors, they've got MP, Chet Holmgren out there with Jarris Walker. Then it's Michael Porter, and it's Pajemski.
Utah has gone 3 of 5 with the long ball since entering the second half. We've got Bailey. Bowen is out there with Collier. Then there's Walker Kessler and Hendricks in at the 4-man position. The group right now for Utah. Indoors, it's an ongoing debate, but some believe that the game is better today than ever before. I think it is. What about
Boy, the explosive finish at the cup by MB. He kind of surprised himself, folks.
Nice ball movement by Utah. Pass to Collier. Here's Bowen. 8 points for him. And he takes that one up and powers it through.
Oh, that's great TNT, baby. Explosive.
That was pretty. And he just has that effortless knack for getting inside. And now a look at the upcoming schedule for the Utah Jazz. On Saturday, they'll be taking on Luka Doncic and the Los Angeles Lakers. And then on Sunday, they'll go up against Trae Young and the Atlanta Hawks.
And that game against the Knicks, that's a contest that could easily go either way. Small mistakes could be the difference, and both teams will need to be at their best.
The Warriors making a switch here. Black's checked in. Pass to Bailey. Here's Bowen. The offensive rebound. Beyond the arc. And Kessler throws it down.
Exactly what Kessler does off every miss. Go pursue the basketball and get an opportunity for a second chance.
And what a fantastic start here to the second half. They have yet to miss.
Here's Collier. His scoring has been there on a regular basis. He's averaging more than 14 points a game. Kessler with it. Pass to Bowen. Launches a three. It's hauled in by MP. MP's got his 16th rebound on the night.
He's trying to flip the script here, but guys, he cannot find any level of consistency.
How many times have we seen a possession like that from them today? Ending with a basket, coming off a quick pass.
Here's Collier.
For Utah, they've gotten 7 of 14 attempts to fall in the half. On the floor for the Warriors, Holmgren is out there with Anthony.
Here's Collier. His scoring has been there on a regular basis. He's averaging more than 14 points a game. So for the Golden State Warriors right now, we've got Brandon Pajemski. Black is out there with...
Here's Collier, doing some damage on the offensive end, putting up a little over 14 points a game. And led to someone who has seen some of the great perimeter defenders over the years. Who's the best you've ever seen?
I'm sipping on pain, baby. I'm sipping on pain, as I'm telling these demons to go away. Yeah, they want me drowning, they know we can't. They're getting drugs, cause I don't feel a thing. I don't know what I don't wanna live, I just don't wanna live again. If I suffer long, then I suffer holiday.
And so it's Utah with it. Setting the floor for the Warriors. They've got Holmgren. Pajemski out there with MD. Then there's Jarris Walker. And it's Black in at the 3 spot. And Doris, I heard a famous coach talking about, quote, the human nature things that a team has to beat before they even get on the court. Can you talk about that?
Oh, Kevin, it's such a great point. So, for instance, is the team in it collectively? Do they care who's getting the shots, the rebounds, and the attention from the media? Or are they about the team and collective success? Human nature is a part of this.
And now, Allie LaForce has something for us from the sideline.
Well, MP in the last matchup against the Heat got the job done. He had an unbelievable amount of points, and he really stuffed that stat sheet for them, ending up with a triple-double. What a game for him, and against their rivals, no less, which had to make him feel extra special. Guys, back to you.
Excellent report, Allie. Thank you. It certainly was a special night for him. The team really fed off his energy.
Yeah, the catalyst for that.
Matthew 11:20, yeah, wipe my tears away. I've been weary and burdened, a lot of stress been on my plate. I've been thinking of what it would feel like when I see your face. Long for your presence because I know I'm first to leave my sight when I ain't thinking about you. Lord have mercy, I'm in so prayer every time I doubt you. Rapping praise your name because you saved me, yes, I'm grateful. You're not lying with me, so I don't get up. Angels around me, want me to send up, I'm gonna break, I'll pray. Saying can't drown me, angels around me, I'm gonna swim and praise. With Jesus by your side, you know anything possible. Trials and tribulations of life.
Here's Bowen. He's got 10. Boy, they need something to go to regain some confidence.
No question. Way too many empty possessions for them.
On the floor for the Warriors.
Here's Collier. His scoring has been there on a regular basis. He's averaging more than 14 points a game. When you look at the recent big threes in the NBA, RJ, it seems like they've failed more than they've succeeded.
That's because some teams just acquire stars without considering.
They've gotten 7 of 16 shots to go so far in the third quarter. Well, Doris, one of the highest compliments you'll hear about ball handlers is saying you can't speed them up.
That's exactly right, BA, because pressure against the best players doesn't...
Jazz have gone 7 for 16 in the second half from the field, shooting a bit under 50%. Jim, these days, things are changing for modern NBA big men.
Here's Collier, doing some damage on the offensive end, putting up a little over 14 points a game. We've got Bailey. Collier is out there with Walker Kessler, and it's Hendricks in at the 4 slot. That's the 5 on the floor for the Jazz. Now here's MP. What an incredible scoring display he's putting on tonight. Took the opportunity when he saw it. And a chance to catch up on some numbers here. The hustle stats for the Warriors.
Well, they've shown just outstanding effort defensively, and it's resulted in several forced turnovers.
And another note, how about the way they've cashed in off turnovers? Taking advantage when given the extra opportunity.
A chance here to catch up with Allie from the sideline.
Thanks, guys. Well, MP in their last time out against the Heat had a huge game. He ended up with a jaw-dropping amount of points, and he did everything else he could have wanted as well, ending with a triple-double. And just a huge game for him. His coaches would love to see him do it again. Guys?
Great report there, Allie. Well, it'll be interesting to see how much of that performance carries over into this one.
His goal is to provide whatever the team needs from him on that particular evening.
Well, I'm sure he's coming in with a lot of confidence after last game. He wants to have a repeat performance here tonight.
Here's Collier.
Who's calling? Who's calling? Who's calling?
It's been several possessions since they've converted.
And they've got to find a way to change that.
One thing you hear players talking about after they've been in the league for a while, Richard, they say the game slows down. When did that happen for you?
For me, it was probably my third year. The end of my third year, the game started to slow down a little bit for me. I went from 9 points to 15 to 18. The game really slowed down in that third year.
So it's both teams making substitutions here. Shot clock at 3. Another miss by Utah.
Well, they've been better than good on the glass today, and there is a glaring discrepancy between these two teams in that area.
We've got Bailey. He's out there with Isaiah Hartenstein. Collier out there with Williams. That's the group right now for Utah. Utah with the ball. And when this game is done with, they'll be off to Los Angeles, taking on the Lakers. That will be a getaway game for them, a one-game...
They're having a hard time stopping this run.
And BA can't afford to keep coming up empty.
Bailey out there with Isaiah Hartenstein. Then there's Collier. Then it's Williams. That's the group for Utah right now. All right, Doris, when you're talking about the type of player who comes off the bench, what kind of player do you like best in that six-man role?
I mean, for me personally, I love guys who can keep pressure on the defense with their scoring ability. Somebody who can shoot with range or put it on the deck, because then your offense doesn't take a step back.
Gives us a chance to catch up with Allie LaForce.
Well, MP in the last matchup against the Heat got the job done. He ended up with a jaw-dropping amount of points, and he really stuffed that stat sheet for them, ending up with a triple-double. He was clearly on a mission, and no one was getting in his way. A flat-out dominant performance.
Thanks, Allie. Well, that was an incredible night for him. They rode him to that win.
And he was more than happy to carry them, BA. He might still be feeding off that performance heading into this one.
Well, there's no doubt that he certainly looked like he was enjoying himself in that last game. He had his offense flowing.
The Jazz shooting around 32% in the third quarter. Here's Collier. Doing some damage on the offensive end, putting up a little over 14 points a game.
They've shown that power inside. Their rebounding effort has been sensational. With the way he can fill it up at this age, it's scary to think how good MB might be in a few years.
Pass to Hartenstein. Here's Collier. And here's Bailey for three. He buries it from three. Bailey's got 8.
Boy, this guy has been a completely different player in this half of basketball. Incredible.
Gordon on the wing. From deep, MP. And good! There's another!
He just knocked 92
22 points on that one. Simply surreal. I'm not sure even he can believe what's going on. And here's Bailey for three. Walker pulls down the board. Walker's got 5 rebounds tonight.
You know, for this team to win games, he knows he's got to be much more.
I never thought I'd do it. Now every day I sacrifice desires to produce my roots, and now I pursue this, and now they looking like who this. I thought the edge was ruthless, all even church you would do. And if they offer me to turn back, watch me swerve them on it. It's only once, it's only fun. Just curve you on it. No, he ain't done, he can't be done. He still been working on me, trying to show me I got all these scars, but he still love me for me. Give him glory, change the mess.
Liam did it again.
God, I need the truth, and you know I'm feeling low with you. I needed your money, my life is what I'm running to. Gave you all my time and all my life, I keep on running to. Baby, it's about time I gave you mine, I know you wanted to.
I'm gonna give you all of me, I know you called on me, no clap it back.
Over to the wing. Pass to Hartenstein. Screen by Hartenstein. It's up a 3.
Nice awareness right there. MP doing a good job getting his timing right on that block.
You gotta love strong defense, especially when it comes in the form of harsh rejection. Wow.
And guys, that was lockdown defense at its finest. Going right at the shot and then able to knock it away.
In my slab with the Bible on the dash when I creep in my knees before I hit the streets to make them ends meet. I'm alone.
Here's Hendricks. Pass to Hartenstein. He's on target from 8 feet out. Hartenstein's got 6.
And can you always depend on him for what to lead you to the right place with that pass? Money.
MP has been leading the charge for the Golden State Warriors. 18 points from three-point range for him in that quarter. That is some serious shooting. We'll get you back to the action after this break. Now let's listen in to head coach Steve Kerr.
Move it to the next guy. Drive and kick. Let it come out in the wash, all right?
And Steve Kerr asking his guys to simply run their offense, share the basketball.
Yeah.
In the ball.
Across, cause I keep my Jesus peace. Like shit, it don't breathe, boy. Ain't no stopping me. We keep it.
Check in for the Warriors.
We want to carry the ball more.
Hope them boys on double cross, but I keep my Jesus peace. Feel like shit, it don't breathe. Why? Ain't no stopping me. We keep it high. Yeah, we keep it high.
Utah's gone 4-7 with the long ball here in the fourth quarter. Collier out there with Bowen. Then there's Isaiah Hartenstein. Then there's Bailey. And Hendricks in at the 4. That's the group right now for Utah.
Well, I love the resilience. After struggling in the first half, he has turned it on.
And the slam, if Rudy gets that ball anywhere near the rim, he is going to finish it.
Jazz have gone 5 of 11 from the field in the fourth quarter. And it's Collier missing.
And they've shown effort and aggression in the paint, really right from the tip. Their rebounding edge right now, massive.
Coles passes to Alston. Sinks the three-pointer.
Well, MP has been very aggressive here, looking for his own offense, generating great results.
Here's Collier. So when you look at different approaches to
When I was born, my mama could see I be been driven and very strategic. Already $2 a minute.
In my Cadillac, slide through the street, hope them boys on double cross.
stolen by MP. So on the floor. Whoa! Big finish!
Oh, wow, that was a dunk contest level jam right there.
And thanks to AT&T for a great look at that dunk on their connected cam. Well, you ask the older generation about load management. They'll bend your ear about back in the day, Grant.
Oh, yes, we will. But it's true that today's players average more distance covered per game, even if they're not walking uphill both ways. So you got to take that into account.
Here's Collier. Foul called on MP. That's third foul of the game.
He didn't have his feet planted.
Second team foul.
Can they get it? And it's Gobert with a rebound.
And I'm surprised that didn't go down. I mean, I'm sure he is too.
MP finds Gobert. MP outside. Shot clock at 6. 4-3. And another one.
And he's been dominant so far in this one.
Shouldering the offense. Really taking it to the opposition. The Jazz shooting just 38% here in the fourth. Pass to Hartenstein. Out to the right wing. And here's Bailey for 3. It's rebounded by Rudy Gobert.
Oh, he's frustrated there. You know he wanted...
Trying to get some change on me. Getting fame when I should have.
Setting the floor for the Warriors. Rudy Gobert is out there with Gordon. Then it's MP. And it's Coles in at the two-guard spot. Here's Collier. Bowen. And he's good on the three ball. Bowen's got 18 points just in the second half.
And he has been on fire this quarter in terms of his scoring. Hopefully, that fire spreads to his other guys and they can rally. He's looked practically unstoppable this quarter. The defense, yeah, they haven't had many answers for him.
Tries it from 19, and he drops that one in. Bowen's got 22.
I know what they say, defense wins championships, but you need some bucket getters too now.
Golden State moving it around. Kicks it out to MP. Pass to Cole. Over to the left wing. Back to Alston. Just 4 to shoot. To the left wing. Three-pointer. Shot's good by Cole.
And this offense is in a perfect rhythm, and you can see how they're finishing their play.
Right about that. Seems like they haven't missed.
And now we go courtside for this story on Walker Kessler. Allie, take it away.
The head athletic trainer for Utah is providing some information, and the diagnosis is relatively mild, a bruised knee. Not great, but could be worse. It's not enough to keep this gamer out of action, though. He's making a go of it. Guys?
Allie, thank you for the update.
Yeah, it's encouraging news, and it's a shout-out to his toughness.
And so it's Utah here with the ball. Following the three-pointer by MP.
Well, guys, this was never really a contest. Just a total obliteration, if you will. You can safely say mission accomplished now for the Warriors.
This was a team performing to its fullest capability.
A hugely satisfying win. A game that not many will soon forget. And
coming down like a deacon with the good book in my hand. All hanging out the window, slowing live with the game. Ride slow in my Cadillac, slide through the street. Hope them boys on double cross, cause I keep my teeth sweet. Till I check, ain't no street. Ain't no nothing to me. Keep the top until we keep it high. Till I check the street. Ride slow in my Cadillac, slide through the street. Hope them boys on double cross, but I keep my teeth sweet. Till I check, ain't no street. Ain't no stepping. real second floor, maybe. Riding with my top 9, listen to my Jesus music still.
124 left in the game.
It's safe to say they have dominated this game. The game wasn't even as close as the score says, and a great win for the Warriors.
Pretty clear who the better team was today. They dominated in just about every phase.
On the dresser, drive me a Tesla, marry me a bad little mama out of Texas.
We still unashamed even when they call us extra. Top notch, faking you the most, not the less. Ride slow in my Cadillac, slide through the street. Hope them boys on double cross, cause I keep my Jesus peace. Feel like shit, on 3, boy, ain't no stopping me. We keep it hot, yeah, we keep it hot, just like Texas Pete, yeah.
There's 1:17 left in the fourth quarter.
And one team is just completely outclassing the other.
Telling they tripping, telling my daddy he gave me vision. I went all over, I love with the glow to follow the mission. Feel like dirt back in 11. Me daddy headed to heaven. Don't know why they call me Reverend. Engine revving from Dallas up to Philly, then DC just blazing tread. ATL to Dallas, Dallas back to ATL. But you can't take that Texas at that one, boy, can't you tell? Tell them I slim body floating in the air, I can't inhale. Got his vessels in my skeleton. They say that boy eloquent. I just made it my business to depend on his benevolence.
There's a minute 17 left in the fourth quarter.
And what a complete performance we saw from them. A dominant win in every way for the Warriors.
And it was a big-time performance across the board. They looked like they were having fun out there, Grant.
Yeah, B.A., it was almost like watching a cat play with a mouse. I mean, they did pretty much anything they wanted to do out there today.
And what a special year they're having, picking up their 59th win.
And having this win on the books might give them a little mental advantage the next 2 times these squads meet.
And one player just stole the show tonight, doing everything for his team. A monster night for MP.
Yeah, we witnessed a special performance tonight. It's not just the triple-double, it's the example he set out there. Outstanding leadership.
They've got Isaiah Hartenstein, Bailey out there with Collier, and it's Bowen in at the shooting guard position. That's the group for Utah right now. Here's Collier. Tried to come right back with a 3 of his own, but it's no good. There's a 4-second difference between the shot and game clock. And here's MP from outside. And the Warriors with another 3.
This is what winning is all about. Playing your best when it matters most.
Yeah, they've got clutch guys on this team, and they never let up.
Down low. Here's Hartenstein. And it's out of bounds. Still Utah's ball.
Nice deflection there. Really trying to disrupt their offensive flow.
Yeah, there's nothing easy.
And so it's the Warriors taking care of it.
So yeah, I got 8 stairs per block.
Business in this one. Boy, this crowd has to be shocked by the way their team was dismantled.
Shocked and surprised. It doesn't matter what the matchup is. You never expect a road team to just waltz in and cruise to the type of victory like we saw tonight.
And that'll do it, folks.
Maybe do more than next turn. You? I'm trying to figure out when we're going to schedule in line. What do I do? Get together and chat?
Just you be aware that the camera's live.